This May, you can join hundreds in the fight against the debilitating disease ALS, better known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Joining us to share more about this upcoming walk at Forest Park, we have Shannon Sullivan, Care Services Coordinator. We have Bill and Nora, father-daughter team. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, first, I know we were all enamored last year with the Ice Bucket Challenge. It was the big thing, big hit of the summer, but it was for ALS. It was for a great cause, and I think sometimes that got lost in the shuffle. Let's talk about ALS first and what it is.
Sure. So ALS is a neurodegenerative disease that affects about 30,000 people across the United States. It's something that when the neurons in the brain stop sending messages to your muscles, and so when that happens, the muscles start to atrophy or die. And unfortunately, this disease doesn't have a cure, and nobody knows why this is happening to individuals. But the reason why we're walking is because we want to be able to try to find a cure for this disease, or at least to try to find a way to raise funds to find some kind of treatment for this disease. Because right now there is unfortunately no treatment, and it can affect anyone. 90% is sporadic, which means that it can happen to anyone. 10% is about familial, so it is inherent in, if a family has ALS already, they can potentially have ALS again.
Now, a lot of these funding organizations, I don't know if people know this at home, they get little to no government funding, so it relies often exclusively on people like us volunteering our time, volunteering our money and our services. So it's important that we do it, and you raised so much money last year, we have to keep that going. So you have the walk coming up. But first, Bill, I want to talk to you, if you don't mind, tell us about your experiences with ALS and how you're doing these days.
Okay, well, with ALS with me, it was basically a year ago in January, I started losing a little muscle control. I just thought it had to do with old age. Daughter came in the garage, asked me to open a bottle, which I couldn't. She thought I was joking until she realized I wasn't. And then from there we progressed to going to the doctors at Bay State, and then I was later diagnosed with what they thought was ALS, second opinion. I went to Worcester, and it was proven that I have ALS. And with ALS, there is no real test for it. The only test they can do is what it is not. And so, process of elimination, we got down to the point that it was ALS.
That's a tough fight to fight, and more power to you. You're great. You're a great guy. Really high spirits. Now, as his daughter, how do you feel about the whole thing? And moreover, why are you walking?
Well, I think that it's really important. The Ice Bucket Challenge, as we said, was really important, but that was a point in time. That started a lot of research, but we really need still funding for additional research. And a thing that I think some people don't realize is, in addition to finding, the cause and the cure, there's also a lot of support that goes on when dealing with this disease. So having resources to know, where do you go to find out about wheelchairs, where do you go to find out about typing devices and things like that. There's a lot of resources that we need for that, and so we're walking to get funds for those. But also, I'm walking for my kids. This is something that is new to them, and they want to understand it, and knowing that we're supported and that there's a group of people that are all going through this together, I think really helps them feel a little more comfortable with it.
It's amazing, and I'm so happy you're doing this, because for so long, we all knew Lou Gehrig and his fight with Lou Gehrig's disease. And then it kind of went by the wayside, so it's so important that we have this funding. We had the Ice Bucket Challenge, but it's only one step. It's the first step. Now, you've had a walk in Worcester earlier this month. At the end of the month, the Springfield Walk is coming up. Give us all the details so that people can come out and join you.
Sure. So the walk is going to be at Forest Park in Springfield on May 30th. Registration starts at 9 a.m. The walk starts at around 11 and it finishes up around noon. We're going to have games, we're going to have fun activities for people to do, we're going to have food. It's going to be a great time to get to meet other people. You can access our walk site at walktodefeatals.org, and then you can find right on that walk site our Springfield Walk page, and you can donate right on there.
Well, thanks so much for your activism in this. Everybody's going to be out there. They're going to be walking for you. So thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's a pleasure having you here, and thanks for your walking and for your support. And if you want more information, come on out, do it. Why not? Visit walktodefeatals.org.